On board a luxury yacht, the Silver Dawn. So, Peter, good morning. I always ask you where in the world you are, but we got that out of the way ahead of time. So before we discuss cruises, let's talk about Kelsey's reporting and these mask mandates. They do cause a lot of friction between flight attendants who then have to police passengers, but is it safe?
Well, right now, we're going to have to wait for the CDC to rule on this. You know, they kicked it down the road again. The March 18th deadline was moved back to April 18th. That's a decision date. They'll probably precede that by about a week with an answer. My guess is they'll probably get rid of them around Memorial Day or right there or thereafter. Now, I'm talking to you right now from Lisbon. As you mentioned, already airlines in the UK have dropped the mask mandate. Cruise lines have dropped the mask mandate. So we're seeing this happen across the board in Europe. We're waiting for some reciprocity. And one more thing, remember, when I come back to the United States, there's still the requirement for the 24-hour rule for me to get a negative COVID test before I can board my return flight. That's also being dropped in many countries. They're waiting for that to be dropped in the United States as well.
And what airline trends are you seeing right now? How is this increased demand, people traveling again, not taking COVID into account anymore because the numbers have gone down, paired with the energy crisis and inflation? What are we seeing?
Well, it's somewhat of a perfect storm. You have increased demand, which we expected. We have airlines that are still understaffed and overscheduled that are cutting flights. Then you have the oil situation, which is resulting in higher fuel prices. In addition to that, we're seeing fuel prices react to airline ticket prices at an enormous rate. For example, my airfare from Los Angeles to San Francisco three weeks ago was $93. It's now 4 times that. Today it's $357. We're seeing those 4-time increases across the board. That's going to have an impact on summer travel because a lot of people just may not be able to afford those tickets.
Wow. That's a big difference in 1 week. And now let's turn to the cruise ship you're on. Cruise travel has, of course, seen its ups and downs to get out from COVID-19. AAA says that cruise bookings this month are twice as high as this time last year. So obviously people are eager to get back. What has the experience been like so far? And are there deals to be had?
Well, as we're getting into May and April and May, the cruise bookings are actually up 3 times as much because you're getting not only new cruise ships coming in, like the one I'm on, the Silver Dawn. It's one of 24 ships that was actually built during the pandemic. So they're all coming into service at a time of increased demand. But we all talk about pent-up demand. I have to give you this figure. It's strange. A week ago, Oceania, another cruise line, put up for sale their 2024 World Cruise. Not 2023, that's already sold out. They put up for sale the 2024 World Cruise, where the minimum ticket price per cabin was $47,000 per person. That's 2 to a cabin, do the math. And it goes up to $190,000. The cruise sold out in 30 minutes.
What? Wow. Okay. What about the staffing issues before I let you go? Is the travel industry ready to meet all this increased demand?
They're not. Southwest Airlines cut their schedule by 10%. That's 14,000 flights. United's cut 20,000 flights per month coming into the summer months of 2022. Keep in mind, Southwest still needs to hire 8,000 more employees. So we're not out of the woods yet for this. We're going to deal with decreased capacity, increased demand, the oil prices. It's looking, at least now, like a pretty hot and expensive summer to fly, at least in the United States. Where I am right now in Western Europe, the prices have flatlined, a lot of it due to Ukraine. But if you look at the map, Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, wide open, safe, and you know what? You're not going to have to stand in line.
All right. Well, I look forward to a report when you conclude that cruise. Peter, thank you. And still ahead, Uber is making major moves, the new partnership to help both drivers and riders, plus Miami Beach mayhem, a curfew.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.